Morning. I just wanted to share with you. This is our Rutland Park where the memorial is that you have in other films, and I'm up here at about 9 o'clock in the morning. There's a trucker sleeping over there, and I just wanted to show you that people who are selling all these hard drugs that put people into like catatonic states when they smoke it, and destroying their lives. I mean, I smoke a little weed, and I just admit it. I use it for pain and for my PTSD. It helps control the suffering inside. When I'm a little off my rocker, it makes me feel a little better. But this is what the hard drugs are doing here in our community. The community is trying their hardest to deal with it. I mean, sometimes they just have them pull up their tents and move on. But we're just going to walk by this morning. I was homeless for the longest time, for about 2 weeks this year, 3 weeks, 4 weeks, after I got out of the hospital for my nervous breakdown there with my ex, Kathy Burchette. But you see, this is what hard drugs do. They take people's lives, people. You know that in Kelowna, it's been 300 people in 2 weeks that have overdosed and died. So those that are selling those drugs are a murderer. They murdered 300 people in less than 2 weeks. About 150 people a week. And this is our war memorial for my family and their family, friends, and those families within the Legion and the Army Navy Club. This is, and the RCMP. This is our family memorial, and I've come here before in other videos, but I was up here this morning and I just wanted to share with you, to show you the situation, because we have people that live in parks because of drugs, and it sometimes starts for free at parties because they want you to take it because it earns them money, and they don't really care, the people selling it. And I empathize with you, the people that are selling it. I've had friends that sold coke, and a lot of my family has done coke and done those type of drugs. I had a nephew that did coke till his heart stopped. But this is the situation we're finding our country in. It's like SOS time. I mean, I'm talking directly to those who are selling these drugs. You have undercut our society with your greed to sell these drugs for money. I don't hate you, so don't think that I want to kill you or I want to fight you or something like that. I'm just trying to make you realize that when you get old, if you hook every single person to these drugs, some of them, they just have a dog. That's their only friend in the whole world because of narcotics. And they have no friends, and they lose all their family, and people look down on them and spit. But this is someone's baby. Someone loved this human being and had this human being into the world. A mother or father loved them, a grandmother. Someone loved them. And see, I'm not going to show any faces, but that's all that man has, is that dog in the whole world. That's what loves him. And this is right on our war memorial. See, people sleeping on it because they just have nowhere to go and they're addicted. No one loves them. They sleep here. This is where they live. Good morning. What a wonderful dog.
Thanks.
What is his name?
Buddy.
It's Buddy?
Yeah.
Wow, what kind of dog is Buddy?
Boxer Shepherd.
Boxer Shepherd, wow. You can't see the boxer, but you can see the shepherd.
Yeah.
He sure got short hair, eh?
Oh yeah.
Awesome.
He doesn't like the wet grass.
He doesn't like the wet grass. That's funny. Wet paws, eh?
Yeah.
That's funny. My cat was like that. Didn't like wet paws.
Yeah.
It's wonderful to have something to love you in the world.
Yeah.
Your wife may leave you. Your girlfriend may fool around on you. Your family might not talk to you, but an animal will always love you. Be your best friend, right? Yeah, you too. Have a good day. So I didn't shoot his face, but yeah, you see, I could walk through the whole town and just show you how bad it really is. And these are people that are your family. You know, I'm talking to you about your own families from all over that have fallen to the drugs. And I mean, like I said, I smoke weed. Weed's legal. And I'm not harping on you for smoking weed. See, that's the man and his dog. It's where they live, under a tree. Isn't that wonderful? That's all because of drugs. Drugs did that, you know? And people who were just a pusher, who just wanted to push the drugs, they did that. They destroyed that person's life. And you're not thinking consequently of your actions. I mean, it's legal to have these drugs in small amounts now because they couldn't deal with the epidemic, but it's not actually helping the epidemic. It's more enabling them to get more drugs. And I know people are looking at them and getting sick of it because these people do so many drugs, and they have to steal, lie, cheat, sell their body to get these drugs. But what are we doing to help them as a society? What are we doing as human beings to prevent this? Are we just all going to like dump drugs on them until they're dead? And there's girls, and there's men, and there's women, and I'm talking pretty young girls who are like 17, 16, 15. I've seen walking around with a hose in their hand and a crack pipe. And their life is, you know, usually it's from depression is where it comes from. People that have been abused sexually and physically sometimes find solitude in narcotics to deal with that inner pain. And I know you don't like them on your lawns. I know you don't like them as around you. But we should have a public forum, good morning, on what to do about it without killing the people. I mean, some people have actually told me, those crackheads, I'd like to just kill them. And I tell you, it gets frustrating, doesn't it, as a public at what to do. But remember that these are all someone's baby that was born in like 1970, 1980, and someone loved him enough to bring him into the world. And that someone may not be here anymore, but they loved him enough to bring him into the world. I think as a society and as human beings, we need to find an answer to that. We don't need to turn to these people because they're not really going to help. They're just in it for the money. The Salvation Army and all the other Christian organizations, they've been doing it for years. They've been saying we're helping, but why isn't there help then? Why didn't it work? If it's not working, let's find another answer. Let's find an answer together as a society to get these people from addicted, homeless individuals to normal, productive citizens as much as we can. Even if it's, their brains fried and all they can do is a paper route, from meth or that new type of zombie meth. But let's do something where we can make the world a better place. Don't you agree? Can't we all just agree on a fact that we don't like what we see with these people hooked on these drugs, sleeping in parks and on your lawn? Nobody wants them to sit on your lawn and wait for the local coke man to come to buy heroin or whatever, and or fentanyl, and how many of you want these drugs pushed on your daughters? I mean, you love your children, you love your daughters, you love your sons, right? How many of you want it done? I mean, is the answer just to legalize it? I don't think so. I think the answer is to fight it. And even if it takes, you don't want to, but even if it takes the army to go to the country that brought the stuff in, like China, and just give it to them mercilessly, then that's what it takes. If it takes the army to kill motherfuckers like it ain't no thing, just to save these lives, Don't you think your sons and daughters are worth saving? Because these outfits have been so-called, that's right behind it. These outfits like the Salvation Army, they've been so supposed to be the answer for hundreds of years. And they've got all this money to have all these big stores to earn them money. And they're supposed to help. But how were they helping last night when those people slept in the tent in the park in the rain? Because everyone knows last night it rained. You know, I was a missionary for 17 years. And I worked for God tirelessly. And I still love God and I still love Jesus. But I don't love churches. Because churches are fake and they're just in it for the goddamn money. See how much money they make? They have stores and buildings and trucks. Like, let's go back. And this is like a multi-million-dollar operation. And you just donate stuff to them in good faith. And how is it really helping? And they get money from the government. They get money from cities. Close, open Saturday, 10 a.m. till 5. You see? And this is a donation bin where people actually just give them the stuff. And they have all this money in trucks and all this money in buildings. But this building isn't really doing anything but selling things. I mean, and they're all tax-free. They all don't have to pay any tax because they're a religious organization. They're all tax-free. And I don't mean to turn on God. I mean, I love Jesus. I love God. My wives are usually bi. They're not straight. I've had 5 straight wives, okay? And I'm not kicking on anyone. I'm just saying, how is this organization really helping? Right? If it's how much is it taking home in cash to its members? I mean, do we have to audit it? I think we do. I think we have to audit it. You see, look how much it has. It has all of this, but it didn't help those people last night. See, donations. You donate, but where does it all go? We never audited it all. There's a security camera up there, so it can afford the level of security that the city owns. And where did that come from? I mean, why is a church having security cameras that the city and military own? There's another camera right there, see? And if you're truly helping the poor, why do you need cameras to monitor your property? You know, if you were really helping them, they'd be like, don't touch that place. That's where I get my dinner. You know, I remember when I used to go to the Salvation Army Church as a missionary, and I'd ask for booklets and tracts and things to hand out to the poor. And you know what I got? I got, just take some of our magazines and hand those out. It's like, no, I need booklets that tell them how to become a Christian. I need booklets that tell them how much Jesus loves them. But all I got with booklets on where to donate and the things they have done. Some sort of like training programs and things. But you know what? I'm looking at these streets all around me. And this is what I see. People in tents. People sleeping on the grass passed out with crack pipes in their hands. And that might not even be crack, that pipe. Who knows what the hell it is. Some kind of drug. Something to kill the pain of suffering of life. I think what we need is to come to, as a nation of Canada and as a nation of the United States, who has an even bigger epidemic this way, we need to come together as a society and have a forum on what to do to better these people and to better their lives, to get them off the drugs. I mean, we tried policing it. It worked for years. The only thing is that it had a high recidivism rate to bring people back into criminality once they left jail. They just went right back to it for the money. But all of those drugs being sold are just for the money. And on the other end, as you can see, this is a really rich church. And for it to say, well, we can only give you a little tiny bag of food, or we can only do this. It's just living a lie. I mean, Come on. I think we have to audit the place. Well, I have people coming now, so I'm just going to shut down the film for the day. And those are my thoughts this morning on the drug epidemic. And I mean, we shouldn't have people having to sleep next to our war memorials and tents because of people selling hard drugs. Now, I don't mind these little marijuana stores. I might sell marijuana to them myself to make a living, but it doesn't cause what these little stores are. They're okay, they're nice people, they're just selling legal weed and not hurting anyone, but it's a real epidemic. There are so many homeless people, all of them, like very few are like me where they had a breakup and they had nowhere to go and they wound up sleeping somewhere under a tarp because of what happened to them. Most of them, they all have a story of why, and we could all listen to those stories and find out why. And each one's an individual and an individual caseload. I mean, that's the way it has to be handled, is as an individual caseload, as individuals, because each one's different. Each one has a different story of why, and we need to somehow change our world and make it better. And we need to have a public discussion on what to do. We need a public forum with the public, not just an inner forum within the government where money is handed around. These are your children that they've addicted to these narcotics. I mean, some of them are as young as 14 or 15, I see, with a crack pipe in their hand walking around, and or a drug pipe. And it isn't weed. We all know that. It's something much harder, you know, and that's just it. You know, it's just steps away from our war memorial for our dead and wounded who died fighting for freedom. And how do you think soldiers feel who volunteer to go to protect you, and they come home and they find their cousin or their niece or their daughter homeless, living on the street, doing these kind of drugs when they went to Afghanistan or, you know, Kosovo or somewhere like that, and they killed people so that you could be free and own your truck and own a business and have a job. How do you think it makes them feel to see their families and friends so addicted? Morning. So I'm gonna stop now. There's some young girls here, so I'm not going to film any further. But yes, think about it.